digest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Yes, guys, welcome to Instant Match Reaction with me, Dermot, aka Dermatron, and of course, the next person next to me, of course, Tequila 316. Guys, we've just seen a most dreadful game where we were lucky to get out of the game with a draw. I've just listened to Vicario's interview, and I'm gonna. There was something that I'm gonna put to Tequila, but Tequila, look. How bad as we were, how well was good with Monaco tonight. They were the far better side and should have won it about 3-0
Oh, yeah.
if they took their chances.
Yeah, it should really have been, to be honest, guys. It really should have been probably 3-0, if I'm honest. I mean, Vicario made at least 3 or 4 really good saves. Yeah, he had 1 or 2 mistakes with his passing, and that's all fair. But I mean, you can't create. Not tonight, anyway. You're not going to hear me saying really a bad word about Vicario, because without him, there's no way we get that draw, dude.
No.
So,
And look, I can be frustrated with the Vicario, but I think he did well tonight. Look, there will be a player ratings video tomorrow, guys, where we are going to go over the team, and I will get the guys' play ratings as well. But Vicario, just to say, just very quick, I have gifted a membership, as I promised I would, Tequila. I've gifted 1 membership, and that's gone to our old pal Hammers Football TV, Tony, who's having a bit of a hard time himself. So hopefully that's cheered you up. Bigger. I think are we going on there Sunday, you and me?
if we can arrange it all, yeah. I've seen as you want to do it, yeah.
I think it'd be good you and me going on the show together, going on to a West Ham, bit of banter.
We can have a laugh about Nuno. Well, they might not find it funny, but we might.
Well, we can tell them the good and bad about Nuno.
Well, the garden gnome, as you called him.
Yeah, I still stand by that. He's still a garden gnome to me. Now, let's talk about tonight's dross. Vicario, he's come out and he's had the interview, and more or less what's come out of it, he said, we lack desire, we lack fight, we should have done better, but we will learn from this. Tequila, I don't want to hear a player coming off saying we've lacked desire and lack fight. That for me is a
You might not
no-brainer.
want to hear it, but if he would have turned around and said, "We gave everything we had, we were just unlucky," you would have been like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Yeah,
So it's kind of
I
like
get it.
I'd rather he say what he said. Do I want to hear it? No, but at least he's honest, huh?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, I grant you. Look, I what do you think? I mean, Thomas Frank, it looks pissed off in that dress. He looks pissed off. What would you say? What would you, if you were Thomas Frank, what would you say to them players? Because look, Tequila, it's not about the performance, right? For me, and you were spot on in the watch along when you said to me, what was pissing me off was the fight and no fight, no desire, no nothing. Do you know, a Monaco will probably make this not play well either. But am I right to be angry with that? I think,
I think you've got a right to be angry at the commitment of some of the players, if not most
yeah,
of the players, to be honest. Up until maybe the last 5 minutes, we lacked urgency in anything that
yeah,
we did. We seemed sluggish right from the off, and some of that is going to be on the manager. I don't think that Frank comes out of this unscathed. Right? It's his job to motivate these players. If he's struggling to do so, then that part is on him. It's not just him, but that part is a fair criticism. It is his job to motivate these players. If they weren't motivated and up for it, you do have to question what the manager was doing, but also the players rightfully have to be criticised. If you're not up for a Champions League night away in Monaco, okay, Monaco are not Barcelona. They're not as glamorous as Barcelona, but don't tell me that that wasn't a big glamorous night tonight. Look at their stadium. Look at their arena. It was a big deal. It was a big moment. It was a big occasion, and they weren't up for it. And that is on the players. The manager has to be held accountable as well, because it's his job to motivate them. But also the players, if they're worth their salt, must have professional respect as well. I'm not sure how many of them
yeah.
do, and that's on them. So it's a difficult one, Demo.
It is. Big up to Will X Spurs over from X. Big up. And which more people X would get involved actually,
They
Tequila,
should do,
wouldn't
yeah.
you?
They
You should do.
come and give us a sub at least, guys. You know,
Yeah,
trying
come
to
on.
grow.
Help us along. We've got over nearly 2,000 followers on X. You think some of them might come over and hit a no sub on our channel? Look, I do agree with Column's point. I will get to that, Column. I do agree with that. But he says Frank is really losing me. Hope we see a different Spurs next game. The only positive to come out, it was Vicario. And it really was Vicario. I've slated him, Tequila. And you know I have. I've been very hard on him. You haven't. You've been a little bit more, I would say, diplomatic about him. Do you think you were, I don't mean this to be you were right and I was wrong. Do you think you were proven right tonight by his performance, and where I should say maybe just take time on Vicario Domo? Do you think you were still proven right by that? And I'm not saying, oh, I'm right, you're wrong, but I'm just making, you were right with your points you were making. That's the point I was trying to get at. Sorry.
I think the way I look at it is that I don't think he's a world beater goalkeeper. I never
No.
thought that he was. I think he's a good goalkeeper. Is he good enough for us where we are right now? Yes, I think he is. Will we probably have to upgrade if we ever have ambitions of getting in the top 4 again? There's an argument to be made there for sure.
Yeah.
I just think we have much bigger problems than Vicario, and I think tonight showed me still that we have much bigger problems than Vicario.
Yeah, I do. I really do. Big up to Connor. Big up to you, by the way, as well. Big up to you, Wolf Spurs. Please hit a like and subscribe on the channel. Really would appreciate it.
I'm curious, very quickly, Wolf Spurs, I'm curious to why Frank's losing you after 10 games. I mean,
yeah.
Is that really? I mean, me and Dermo joke about Ange, and because it's a little bit bittersweet, at least for me, anyways, to see Ange go after 8 games. But to be fair, every manager should be given more than 8 games, even Postecoglou, right? That's just me not trying to be funny about it. That's the truth. So I've been losing faith in Frank after 10, 12 games, whatever it's been now. Come on, dude. That's just...
I mean, to be fair to you, Tequila, I think you have a right to be vindicated by Postecoglou.
Yeah, well, it's a bit more personal for me in that matter. But with my total logical head on, every manager, even the ones I don't rate or like, need more than 8 bloody games.
Yeah, they do. No, they do. I look, I'm still Frank Hin. He will get it right, but it's now. As I said before, I think this is Levy's transfer philosophy is now coming back to bite us on the ass. I really do think that. as I said, there will be a video done on that. Us guys will get together and we'll do a video. I'm sure we all got opinions on it. Big up to Colin as well, who's been fantastic in the chat tonight. Thanks, Colin. It means a lot for you to come in here. But the only thing he can say, we weren't good enough. We learned from this, apply it for the game on Sunday. I mean, Rio Ferdinand said it. He said at halftime, even they could see it was disjointed. I said it to James in the watch along before he came on. They looked disjointed. They just didn't want to be there, Tequila. I mean, how worrying is that for you? And how worrying should that be for Thomas Frank as manager if you seeing players that don't want to be there? I mean,
Well,
you're on the dugout. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking to myself, obviously, I need to get rid of the majority of these players, which is what I thought anyway. Because even if technically that some of them are okay, and I use that term okay because I don't think we've got anyone that amazing. Kudos, Simmons, potential maybe, but it's up there, isn't it? It's two places there, mate. It's in the head and it's in the heart. I don't know if you can teach the heart stuff. I think you can teach the head stuff. I don't think you can teach the heart stuff. And if none of those players have got the heart stuff, then they got to go.
Yeah, I think a player from the heart stuff. I think that comes from the player within. You're right. You can't teach it, but that comes. From the player within.
Also it's something that generally there's always exceptions to the rules, but it's something that generally comes in maturity of the players. We've got quite a young team. A lot of our team's quite young. A lot of them don't have that character. Will they ever? Well, I don't know. I can't see the future like that. But a lot of them don't have it right now.
Is it now down to senior members now of the squad, to senior players of the squad now?
Well, that's why Vicario. That's why Vicario's saying that as one of the. I mean, he's 28, isn't he? So he's one of the older. You know, he's in that kind of older bracket. If anyone's going to do it, it should be him. It should be Romero. It should be Ben Davies. I mean, I know Davies didn't play, but I mean, I would imagine that's kind of what his role's meant to be, right? The elder statesman of the team, Ben Davies. Now, this is what he's going to get paid for. He's not going to get paid for stubby doors on the pitch, probably much. So there you go, Davies. Now's your chance. Be a locker room leader. Be the experienced voice. Put these kids aside and just tell them flat, like Roy Keane would. Not acceptable, mate. Not acceptable, mate. Don't do that again. Otherwise, you're bet on your ass.
Colin says, coming from a goalkeeper myself, you're only as good as the defense sat in front of you. That is so true. Big up to you. We've got Gerg up to you. The Carl says, how is Richie still getting a wage? My God, dreadful. Yeah, he really was.
Because Carl, to answer your question, because we're the idiot mugs who paid 60 million for him and decided to give him that wage. That's why.
Yeah. We do have to remember this is Thomas Frank's first real job in football. I'm not saying Brentford wasn't a real job, but his first big job in football. So if you're looking at from that point, then is he doing okay then? Is he to get, we're 15th, but we haven't lost in the Champions League yet. We've got a win and 2 draws. Would you have taken if you look at it that way, we should have won tonight. But
I'm going to, Dermo, let me challenge Com. I know Com will enjoy this. Me and Com always enjoy having little tiffs. Don't we, Com? I'm going to challenge him a little bit on this comment. Have to remember that this is Frank's first time competing at this level. If you mean the Champions League, you're right. If you mean teams of Monaco's ability, then you're wrong, because you're not going to sit here and tell me that Monaco are a better team than Man City, than Liverpool, than Arsenal, than Chelsea, because they're not. So Frank has lots of experience playing in much bigger teams, bigger grounds, bigger occasions, really, than this. If you mean the Champions League in general, of course, this is his first season. But Monaco as a team, he's fought much bigger threats and done much better against these bigger threats with a Brentford side. So that part I don't agree with. The Champions League itself, fine, that might be a higher level. But the match against Monaco, he's had much bigger matches than that in his career and done much better with Brentford.
And to be fair,
several years in the Premiership.
Yeah, and don't forget, this Monaco side to kill it held Man City to a 2-2 draw.
They're a good side, don't get me wrong, but you're not going to tell me that they're a better side than Chelsea and Liverpool and City, because they're not. That's all I meant.
No, I think what Colin's trying to say is no. He says not the Champions League. He says European football and styles are a lot different. I think it's more on about Premier League, Tottenham Premier League, top job in the league. He's gone from a club where your main ambition was to stave off relegation, and then cement his team as a staying in the Premier League and keeping them there. He's now gone up to a level in the Premier League where the job is to get into European football and win the domestic trophy.
Yeah, but surely isn't it the job still at its fruit? I know, I understand what Com's saying. I'm not
Yeah,
disagreeing with him really.
Yeah,
but the job is still to win a football match, right? It's still 90 minutes. I know
It
it's
is.
different, but it's not exactly. It's not that. It's not like oil and water. Is my point. I'm not saying that it's not. It's exactly the same, but let's not get carried away. Like it's still 90 minutes, 11 versus 11, and he's done much better against much better teams than Monaco. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Do you know what? I want to be hypothetical here with you, Tequila, right? Hypothetically, if Andrew's in charge tonight, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm being hypothetical here.
Okay.
Do you think the outcry from this would be far worse than it will be then because of Thomas Frank? Because I don't agree with this all Frank out shite, by the way. I think it's ridiculous.
But, I mean, yeah, if Andrew carried on after, obviously, then I'm trying to answer all the results. Had we had this series of results, Dermo, not performances, just results, I think the knives would be out for him. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous. We've got big up to Ali. Lang is responsible for the team. He is all. Yeah, I agree 100%. We've got John Lee. Haven't seen you before, John. Welcome to the channel. It's a Xavi joke for a left wing. Where are you and Xavi tonight? It didn't have much of an impact, Tequila, but I think it just needs time to settle in. I think we've both agreed on that, haven't we? He needs time. He's a young lad. He's coming from a different country, a different league. The Premier League's more fast, it's more physical, and he needs time to adapt. Are you on the same wavelength?
Yeah, the interesting thing is, of course, Dermo, is that Xavi, unless I'm wrong, by all means correct me, because I'm not that big up on the French league. But unless I'm wrong, Simons started at PSG, I think, as a youngster.
He did.
So he probably actually has more experience of Monaco than most of our players do. That's the thing. And an idea maybe of how their play has probably been to their stadium before and played there. So actually, from that point of view, he's probably more experienced than most of our players are playing in Monaco. But as an overall, I think, again, we need patience. I know it's hard. To have patience nowadays, guys. I get it. I'm not immune to it either. It's not like I can't want stuff now, of course, but it's just like you just got to wait. I know it's frustrating, but I think and it's probably frustrating because we probably all have seen him at Leipzig and at PSG, where we know that he's better than he is showing and can be better. Yeah. We just have to hope that he can grow into the team. He'll settle in London and stuff like this. Again, guys, it's only been a couple of months. Give him a chance.
I think it's easy to come onto these match reactions, Tequila, and rant and rave, and I think you have to really look at the game. You have to look at it. You have to take your Spurs love away, but also look at it logically, if you know what I mean. And I think tonight was such a bad performance from everyone. And the worst one on the pitch was Brendan Johnson. Had the chance to score us the winner. I mean, Kolo, come on, didn't do a damn. How bad were the substitutes tonight, by the way, together? I think they were all awful.
Well,
I think Simons tried.
Yeah, but I think that Frank probably made the right substitute. So I'll defend Frank on that one. Are the substitutes good? No, the players aren't. Most of them probably aren't good enough. No, but that part you can't put on Frank. That part, unfortunately.
Do you think this is more of a learning curve for Frank in the Champions League? Was he schooled tonight in Champions League football? Because I'm saying that because it says here, I'm saying he's not competed in the Champions League. It's a massive difference for normal leagues. It's slower and more tactical. Just learn. So adding to that, what Colin's saying, would he have taken a lot out of this game for his own sort of management, how he manages Tottenham in the future?
Well, I mean, I believe that everyone should learn every day. You're never too old to learn anything. So I think Frank's a smart enough man, from what I've seen, that he will probably go into every match, especially when it's uncharted waters, like Com said, and he will be better next year if he's still at Spurs, and if we get into the Champions League next year. Tough ask if you ask me, but if we were, he'll probably be better next year. Again, though, we need to have the patience, guys. I know that we seem to be struggling with this. We
Well,
are.
that's I got a question for you, actually.
It worries me, Derma, because you are generally one of the more patient fans I've come across, and I can see it in you that you are losing faith in the manager. Maybe not. I'm not saying you want him out. I'm nothing like that, but I think you're dropping faster than you would have done before, and that's slightly concerning overall. Is this a combination of two? Is this too many managers now? Is this 5 or 6 years now? Jose, Conte, Stellini, Mason, Nuno, and now Frank. Is it just? Are we getting to that point now where we're just so fed up in general that we now can't give Thomas Frank? We're jumping faster than we should. I don't know. You tell me.
I look, I am fed up with it all. I am fed up with it. I'm prepared to give Frank all the time he needs. I'm going over in December and looking forward to going over. And I'm looking forward to going to the game and seeing my club play, our club play, and all that. But
I don't know if Dermo's frozen. You still there? I think Dermo's muted himself. One sec. Sorry, guys. Just got to message him because he won't know otherwise. If anyone in the chat want to say we can't hear you, Dermo, I can do that as well. Okay, I think he's trying to figure out. I'm assuming you can still hear me, you lucky people. Okay. Yeah, you can still hear me. Oh, now it's just me. Right, now what the hell do I talk about? Right, so let's talk about Thomas Frank. What did Frank do right and wrong tonight? Well, did he set up the team properly? And when I say set up the main team, I mean, did he have them mentally prepared for it? You would have thought so. It is a young team, but there's enough experienced heads in that group. No, I think he's back. Maybe not. There's enough experienced team people in that group for where.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, my earpod died. That's what happened. Sorry. Can I ask you the question I was going to ask you?
Okay.
The Lewis family. To your point, where it was okay. So I got turned on me on the monitor. To your point, where am I sick of too many managers? Yeah, I think last year, I think on the ranch, all the defeats probably did get to me an awful lot. I think winning the trophy masked that. But I think I'm seeing the same things again now with this same group of players. Thomas Frank was a Levy pick. He wasn't a Lewis pick, family pick. Daniel Levy's now gone. How long before the Lewis family want to make a change if they don't see things going the way they're going?
I would imagine, should Frank not get us into Europe this year, that he probably will be relieved of his duties at the end of the year. I'm not saying I would. I'm saying that I think, as you've just said, he wasn't their guy that we know of. That we know of.
Yeah.
So they will want somebody, and I generally respect Thomas Frank, especially for the work he's done at Brentford.
Yeah.
I don't know if he is high enough profile for Tottenham Hotspur, especially for the Lewis family. If they really want to reach for the stars, so to speak, I think they will want somebody who is a bit more Hollywood. That's how I'm going to put it down.
No, that's fair.
That's how, that's it.
There's a stat, Tequila. Tonight's our first 0-0 in 125 games.
I'd say that doesn't surprise me when.
But isn't that
our last manager? It is a start and a half. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I just don't know. I really don't know. I'm probably fed up with this. I'm probably fed up with these players, Tequila. I'm not fed up with Frank, I'm not fed up with it. I wanted Frank in before we got Ange. And I think I was blindsided with Ange because of what he'd done up at Celtic. So I was also happy. I think some of these players have to take a square look at themselves tonight. I think there was no leaders out there, Tequila. I think that's the other thing as well. There was no leaders out there.
Well, we haven't got many in our squad. We
no.
know that. We don't.
We haven't. Look,
the three people who were put under Angie's triangle of terror membership group. So it was Sonny, Maddison, and obviously Romero. Son's gone. Maddison's out for most of the year, if not the whole season. Romero obviously was injured tonight. So who is there left?
Are we missing Romero? I think we are.
Yeah,
I think we're missing his leadership.
He is our best defender, even though I don't think he is world class. But he is.
I disagree with you. I think he is world class, Tequila. I do disagree with you on that.
World class for me is down to for him to be world class. For me, he's got to be in the top 4 defenders in the world, which is not. So that's what I mean by world class. That's how I view world class. When I say world class, I think of a World Cup squad who will win everything, right? So you're talking about a World Cup squad. You might have 4 centre backs or 5 centre backs. Is he in the top 5? I know, but is he in the top 5? Is he a top 5 centre back in the world? No,
I think so. Not. I think he is.
Well, that's fair enough. We can disagree, but
I like that because you do. Look, I respect what you're saying, by the way, and I do understand you make some good points. I think I just see it slightly.
We haven't got any world class. I don't think so. I don't think we have any world class players.
The
last one we had was Harry Kane.
Yeah,
that was he was.
I think look. Just to end off on this tonight, big up to Mr. EE. He says, look, I didn't want him, but for the moment he came to our manager, I'd be behind him all the way. He deserves at least a year. Exactly. Big up to Carl that says, exactly. We need to give Thomas Frank the time to get his team going. Big up to John Lee. Frank is defensive mode, mind not to lose games. That's so true. Look, if we're going to end up this tonight, Tequila, look, I'm going to need a night to think on this and to probably reflect. I'm angry. I'm really angry inside with the players and the no effort.
I'm trying to get to the bottom of it, Dermo, just out of curiosity, if nothing else, and maybe just for entertainment purposes, as far as the show is concerned. Why you have, in my opinion, right, just my opinion, I think you've overreacted, and I'm curious to know why. What has triggered it? That's what I'm curious about. I'm not angry. Why would I be? You are what you are. You are who you are. I am who I am. But I'm curious, just general curiosity, why this game seems to have got you so much more angry than our performance against Wolves and against Bournemouth and against Villarreal and all the other ones where we've been subpar.
A combination of all the performances, all the bad performances. I've always had this rule of thumb that, okay, I'll always try to look at the best out of the bad. I'd always try to take the good out of the bad of the game. Yes, I'm always trying to look on the bright side. Yeah, don't worry, lads. Yeah, look, we're this in the league and we've got this coming. And look, it wasn't that bad. And I've seen worse in my day and all this. But when you see the light performances of Wolves, bad performances. But tonight what got me was no effort, no passion. Only one shot on goal in the whole game. Not even putting a tackle in, not even putting an effort in to run after the ball. Monaco ran rings around us at some parts of the first and second half. And I just had enough of it. I just have enough of these players that think they have the right to wear our shirt. They don't own that shirt. That shirt is loaned to them by us, the fans. Tottenham Hotspur is our club. Them players are playing for our club. I expect a little bit of affection. I expect a little bit of discipline. I expect a little bit of fight and determination. If you're going to lose playing shit, I don't care. If we lost to Monaco tonight 2-0, but they really put in the shift and they just lost because Monaco were the better team, I wouldn't have a problem with it together. I can live with that. Well, I can't
what about this theory here, Dermo? What's your reaction to what Carl said?
It could be the Ange effect. Maybe it is. And look, I just it's maybe it's something to do with that. But for me, is our football club means everything to me. It's my second love. And all I ask is them players go out and put an effort on the pitch. They're not having to go out. I used to work in the buildings in construction. And I used to work every morning from 4:30 in the morning to 7 in the evening. And I did that too. I couldn't do it because of my back and injury. And I had to retire at the age of 39, which is younger than 48 now. So I've been retired nearly 10 years due to injury. But I would get up every morning and I would put a shift in. I would do everything I can to make sure I do the best job I can do. They are paid millions just to kick a bag of air around the pitch, Tequila. To get the best of everything, to get the best of facilities, to get the best of looking after, to get the best. They get the best of medicals, to get the best of transfer when they fly, they're flying comfort, and they're paid millions to kick a bag of air around the pitch. And this is a combination. Tamworth last year, on the Ranch, Thomas Frank, some of the games on the Thomas Frank, Bournemouth, Wolves.
So it's about the work rate. And if you feel like there's no work rate, that's when. I think he's muted himself again, guys. Yeah, he has. Sorry, fellas. Muted again. Someone, if I put in the chat that you're muted, I'll do it as well. It will take him a second or so to realise he's muted himself again. Bless him. Maybe he's just being careful because he wants to swear lots and he doesn't want to get his phone off. So he's muted himself. Mute, baby. Big up to Philip Brady in the chat as well. I'll read some of the comments, I guess, while we wait for him. Wasn't I lucky to miss that? You were the lucky one, Philip. Me, Dem, I had to sit through it.
How's that?
There you go, he's back. That's twice now, Dem.
Sorry, I'm getting a new mic. My mic's coming on Friday. I'm getting a brand new mic. So my mic, can I just say, right, my mic's been taped together with tape and everything. It looks like something that you picked out for Skip.
Only the best you get on here, guys. Only the best effects.
Yeah. Look,
Dot tape put it together, Demo.
I don't know how much you heard, but it's all about performance for me and effort. I'm wearing the pride with the shirt.
But it's not about performance, though, is it? So if they perform badly but they work hard, you're fine with that, right?
I'm fine with that. With that because at least you know they've given it all. This shirt should mean something, Tequila. It means something to me. That cockerel means something to me. I would die for that. If I was a player, I would die for that cockerel. I would go out, and I'm unfit. I'm not a footballer, but Jesus Christ, I would run over backwards to give everything for this club. And you've got players paid millions that can't be asked to even run 2 yards. Do you know you've got Richarlison stealing a living?
But do you think this is only tonight, though, Dermo? This has been the whole season. Or how long has this been going on for you then, do you think, with the majority of our players? Maybe not all of them, but with the majority of them, how long have you felt this way?
I felt this way probably in the middle of last season. But it was always the hope of winning that trophy that kept me going. It was winning that trophy that's why I burst. When we won that trophy, I broke down in tears because I was so relieved that after the season we went through, we won something at the end of it. I trust Thomas Frank to get this right. But I've been saying it now for the last few days, Tequila, and I keep saying it, and I will keep saying it. Daniel Levy's transfer policy has bit us in the arse. We went down a youth policy which wasn't good for our football club. We've got players out on loan that should be within our football club, should be there, and they should be within the squad. Mikey Moore, Will Lancashire, Alfie Devine. Do you know?
I want to ask you, Dermo, right? Do you think Thomas Frank or any manager, it doesn't even have to be Thomas Frank, do you think any manager has the real ability to install heart into players? Heart. And if so, how much can he really do? If it's not there, is it just not there? It
comes from within. Does Roy Keane have heart?
Well, of course he does.
Yeah. You look at the players of the past. You look at our players of the past. Gary Mabbott, diabetic. He gave his all, and he was a type 2 diabetic who had to inject himself insulin before a match.
Yeah.
Tequila, right? You look at players going up and down through the years at Tottenham. I know that I'm a bit longer of a fan than you, but I'm sure there's players in Europe that you remember. Do you think, God, I wish he was in our team now? I go back to Graham Roberts and Paul Miller and Steve Perriman and Graham Roberts, and then Gary Mabbott, and then you got Paul Allen. You remember little Paul Allen? Little Paul Allen was not the greatest footballer in the world, but by Jesus, he gave his all for the club.
Yeah.
You look at even Gaza. Gaza would die for Tottenham. Do you know? And there is players today. I think Kudos would. I think Palunia gives his all. I'm not saying all of them, but if you look at the likes of Richie, Brennan Johnson,
then there's no then Dermo. I don't mean to cut you off, but then there's no hope then for any of these players. Then so then we just need to cut them. They need to go. All of them.
They need to go. But
how many of them? And you can't do that in all one window. So what is Frank? My point is, what is Frank meant to do if he's burdened? And that's the word I'll use. If half his squad have got players you don't give a shit.
Yeah, I think this is where. Yeah, Bergvall show hearts as well. I like Bergvall. Philip is right. Bergvall does show heart. I wasn't.
Well, yeah, I never said it was all of them, Phil. I said that it was a lot. I said it was all of them.
I think next summer is going to be really important for us, Tequila, where we go under this next sort of era at Tottenham, who we're going to buy, who we're going to get rid of. We've got to get out of this way of thinking of cheap is good. We've got to go out and buy decent players. And this is one I want to see a reaction from the ownership. And this is why I wanted January to show some sort of reaction. If we go and get Vlahovic and we go and get Lookman, say to Lookman, right, come and join us in the summer. We're sort of pre-contract out now. Do you know? There you go. Job done. Vlahovic, he's out of contract in January. Get him in on loan. Get him in on loan for 6 months with a permanent deal at the end of the year. Our defense is solid. You've got Romero, you've got Mickey van der Ven, you've got Porro. Porro's a better player than he was tonight. Jed Spence, we need another fullback. You've been banging on about that in the summer, and you've been proven right. Bergvall, Palunia, yeah. Bentancur, maybe. But if you look at our front line, Brennan Johnson needs to go. And I was the biggest Brennan Johnson fan, by the way. I'm more disappointed in him for him not fulfilling his potential. That's what's angered me. That some of these players have got such potential that they don't bother. Do you know what I mean? And they're paid millions, Tequila.
Then I would. Then that's a scouting then, because you got to scout the person. Yeah. You got to scout the person. Look, when Levy spunk his load buying Ndombele, right? There was no doubt on the man's ability, but there was no research or thought went into the man's brain and the man's heart. With all due respect to him, is it mental health stuff? That's fine, but these things have to be taken into account. Right. So when you talk about potential, the potential needs to be of the person, not just the player. So when you're buying these young players, that's why so many of these young players, how many young players are there that have got loads of talent, but they end up not fulfilling it? That's why it's called potential, because they haven't got the other attributes there. And how many of these young players that we've bought? I mean, Philip says Bergvall, maybe. He looks like he's got the most promise. And I'm not going to rule out Gray. I'm not even going to rule out Odebert. But do they have characters? Do they have that desire, as Dermo's just said? I'm not sure that many of them do. So then we need to scout better, don't we? We need to scout the person as well as the ability.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. Out of the players that played tonight or the players that have played this season, which players for you have character? I think Romero's one. He has character. Yes, he may not in your eyes be a world-class player, but he's got character and he...
No, but I never said he doesn't have desire. He has desire.
Yeah, you want to see his tackles. He loves Tottenham. He plays for the shirt. Palunia, another one.
Yes, I think he showed this. I'm not sure how much desire he's got for Spurs. Because he's only just joined us. But I mean, in general, if you want to call it professionalism, whatever words you want to use, then yeah, he generally is a player who more often than not will give it his all. I'm not expecting every player to run their socks off every match. Yes, we all want to believe that, but that's just not realistic. But you want more often than not. And what we saw tonight, Dermo, as you rightfully said, is that a lot more of them didn't care than the ones who did.
They hid.
And that is a massive problem. And I don't think the manager can really fix that. Now, by all means, he will try and he can do his best. And maybe one or two maybe will listen. But most of them probably won't, because just like you said, and just like Philip put in the chat, or it might have been Carl, they're too busy driving their Porsches with their model girlfriends and their million. They don't care. Most of them don't care. Yeah. We need to weed them out as much as we can and get the ones that do. Much harder said than.
I mean, Philip's right. We didn't lose. That's a positive, I suppose. If you want to take any positive out of it, we didn't lose.
I thought we'd lose 2-0. So.
And you're right to give Thomas Frank time. We ain't conceding much, and getting the defense right was priority. As Kevin Costner said, if you build it, they will come. Wasn't that from a film where it was a baseball? We build a baseball pitch or something.
Yeah, I forget. I can't remember the name of the film now. Field of Dreams. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, Philip makes a good point here. In the '60s, the players travelled by public bus to the grounds. And
but without getting into a massive society debate here about what life was like in the 60s, he's right, but
he is right. Mr. E says, I can feel the pain in Dermot's voice. I share it. I'm not even gonna. No, I would not die for that. No. Yeah, I'm not saying it. I am not saying it. The Cockerel Clock podcast is dead. Long live the Cockerel Clock podcast. We should bring that back, actually, the Cockerel Clock podcast, by the way, Tequila.
Carl's just doing it because he wants you to. Well, you've already fallen for it today. So.
Yeah, no. How many times have I been caught out with that, by the way?
Most times, most times.
Look, guys, we're going to leave it here. Listen, thank you all for joining us today. We've had a really good day on the channel. A lot of people have turned in to content we've provided. We're going to come out with some new content soon, more pre-records than live stuff in the mornings for you guys. So do watch out for that. Then we may do a little news segment for you guys in the morning. Now, tomorrow, of course, 1 o'clock, I'm live with Dave. And then at 4 o'clock with members only, it's the player rating shows. And then 8 o'clock tomorrow night, it is the final score. I may move it to Friday night. I'm not sure yet. I don't know. I may need...
I thought you were doing United Agenda on Friday.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, it will be tomorrow night at 9, at 8. I'll see, can I get a guest to come on and have a different perspective. But, look, there will be a video about this going out. I think it's a conversation me, James, and Tequila have to have about the squad. And maybe, Tequila, we can go through the squad and maybe then we can identify who has heart for this club and who hasn't. I think
be interesting to see if we all think the same people, because I bet you there's going to be different ideas.
Yeah, because I think we're all going to come with different. We may agree on some, but I know there will be a debate on others. But guys, thank you for watching. Tequila, do you want to say anything? We've had man numbers today. A lot of people have tuned in and joined us. What do you want to say?
Thanks for all the new members. Thanks for any of the chats. Please check out our VPN. Private internet access as well, because we get some. If that's a good way to support us and get yourself a good deal for a VPN if you're in the market for one. But thanks everyone for joining us again. We do appreciate it, don't we?
Yeah, and let me know, guys. Do you want me to do some pre-records on history of Tottenham? Would you like that? So let me know. Big up to Spurs T-Rex, who became a member tonight as well. Also, Will Hammers, Happy Hammers, Tony from Sad Hammers TV become a member too. Do you know the Spurs fans actually felt what it's like to be at the London Stadium? They had to bring their binoculars to watch that game tonight.
I quite like this stadium.
I do. Right? It's built on top of a car park. Funnily enough,
it did look very snazzy.
It is Monaco.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It looked like it was. It looked like it was in Monaco.
I think you're in Monaco. You're not telling us. I think you went over there.
I would love to live in Monaco.
You went over in the THFC dinghy. You boated over there, and you now, when you got off here, you're now going to go to the Casino Royale, casino, and play with the club's money.
Oh, well, I'd run out of money in a.
Bet it on black. Don't put it on red. Just put it on black.
I always listen to what Wesley Snipes told me. Always bet on black.
Yeah. Right. On that bombshell, we're going to leave it there. Tequila, do you want to take us out as you always do?
Yep, as normal. 8 games is just who we are, mate. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Eyes on the prize.